this panel, a very teasing title you gave. The hall is full because of the teasing title. But I must say, the Navi, all of you didn't disappoint. Very good session. The point I have is, some of the points you talked about, we are in the boom times, service model, offshoring, everything is going. So really speaking, the risk factor innovation has not been truly tested in my opinion. You only have to see the times ahead. One of the things, so many sessions yesterday, today, everybody is talking about what is going to change next year, year after, it's all going to change. So that is where, in my opinion, the concept of risk factor some of you are talking about, in service model in India at least is not seen as a highly risky model, at least today. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know what will happen. Whereas when you see why people always talk about the product, because product is risky. So India is not like Silicon Valley. Apple and Google, they are all doing in Silicon Valley. There is a success story there, whereas offshoring very successful, the icon is India, that is a service model. So I was just wondering, as the years go by, when you really hit the limits, when you reach, that is the time all the so-called risk factor is going to come. How this industry is going to respond in terms of risk factors and the associated disruptive models, associated business model you talked so much about, how it is going to happen. So I'm very, very interested from a little bit of comment. And second is that after the big mistakes have taken place, as Ganesh was saying, the guy is gone. So I want to know, as a person who is in the field, how do you do the certain amount of benchmarking from time to time at the CEO level, at the various levels of an organization, so that they know, are we innovating or not? Otherwise, it becomes very, very difficult for people to know innovation index. You give an award annually, but within that organization, for people to know, I want a little bit more, if you have some comment on benchmarking. Thank you.
Interesting question about benchmarking. So I guess maybe I can ask you guys, do you do that on a regular basis at the leadership level, where you actually track where you stand on your innovation performance? Anyone want to comment on that?
Actually, just to give you a quick comment, in our organization, for instance, across all the thousands of people we employ, everybody has a certain, content of their key result areas devoted to innovation. And I think we spend the maximum time trying to identify what you said as innovation index. We call it the innovation result area for everybody. it could be lower for, hopefully it's much lower for accountants, but it's very high for product designers or concept designers. So I think there are ways, and we can get into that. But even in the NASSCOM Innovation Forum, for each of our three areas, which is product innovation, process innovation, and business model innovation, we've tried to see what are the benchmarks. Today, even if you're here in the afternoon and hear the companies presenting, you'll see what high standards they've set in terms of each of these categories. But your first comment is also very interesting in the sense that your question was, when do you really look at these risks? See, I think all of us at a firm level are very conscious of the risk. There is a risk that the existing business model, unless it's tweaked a little or fine-tuned, is not going to last for a very long period of time. So I think while this is what Handy calls a sigmoid, while the current sigmoid is still going strong and everybody is making lots of money, this is the time to start thinking about how do you create the new outsourcing model. And a lot of the stuff we do as firm level, at industry level, the ecosystem that I talked about, where we're trying to involve academic institutions, government, venture capitalists, is just to ensure that this evolves so that people start working on a new model before the old model kind of completely finishes. So I think there's a lot of work happening in this area.
Innovating in good times versus waiting for the bad times to materialize. We might have time for one last question. So anyone want to?
Somebody raising hand.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Good afternoon. I am Simar Singh from Compare Infobase. Working?
Is it turned on?
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
My question is to the panel. The second most important word which we have heard, and which has also had a derivative apart from innovation in the whole session, is the word caution. We've been all talking about caution and risk. Now, is caution a major deterrent, or is it the part of the DNA of innovation? Because this is something which is very critical to emerging enterprises. Thank you.
So how do you manage the risk inherent in innovation, I guess, would be another way to look at it.
I mean,
Jeremy?
I don't know whether I'd use the term, caution to me is, you want people to exercise judgment, okay? And so, I think you hope that the managers that you put in place, when they're going to hear a different idea every day. I mean, yeah, there's some element of exercising judgment that the idea has got a certain chance of success. And I think if you've got a balanced set of investments, you've got some big ideas, you've got some incremental, then I think that becomes easier over time. Where it becomes hard is if you're constantly trying to come up with the next big thing. Because then those decisions become a lot tougher because they become high stakes, and that's where I think, if you're not careful, the organization ends up in stasis. It's either a big thing or it's nothing. And, that I think leads to a lot of problems. But, if folks understand that, innovation can be small, then, you can use that to build a certain amount of confidence. And then I think when you do have a big idea or opportunity on the table, it's actually an easy decision to make. But certainly judgment is a big part of this. If you're taking big risks all the time, you're going to have a short career, right? Because something isn't going to work out and you're going to end up fired. The guys who tend to do well are the ones who kind of balance the risk and exercise good judgment. And you know what? More pay off than less. And that's about as much as you can expect.
Great. With that insightful comment, I think we have to close this panel. I want you to join me in thanking our illustrious panelists for the great insights. Thank you very much.